I ferried my boat without an oar. I defeated vanity, greed and attachment, and looked for the Lord with an undivided mind. Thus did I recognize my own soul. Travelers across the centuries, whether Mughal emperors, Western adventurers, or itinerant wanderers, have all marveled at the beauty of Kashmir, calling it paradise on earth. But the Kashmiris have a different name for their home, calling it Pirvar or Rishivar, the valley of rishis and Sufi peers. Kashmiri history is rich with saints and seekers, but perhaps none is so well known or so well loved as Hazrat Nuruddin Nurani.
मेरा नाम है रश्मि, तो मैं आज पहली बार यहाँ आ रही हूँ। मेरा बहुत मन था यहाँ आने का। कभी कभी ऐसी जगहों में मौका मिलता है तो ऐसी जगहों पे जाती हूँ, तो मुझे लगता है कि स्पिरिचुअल मतलब कुछ पीस सा मिलता है, मन को शांति मिलती है।
तो यहाँ मैं हर साल आता हूँ, हाज़िरी देता हूँ और आशीर्वाद लेता हूँ बाबा का। तो इस साल मैं अपने बेटे को साथ लेकर आया हूँ ताकि मेरा बेटा भी इस बाबा का आशीर्वाद दे। मेरे दादा ने बताया कि वहाँ जाओ, शेख नूरुद्दीन नूरानी जहाँ पे है, शेखुल आलम जिनको कहते हैं, शेखुल आलम, आलम का मतलब होता है वर्ल्ड, ये तो सारी वर्ल्ड के बादशाह माने जाते हैं।
He has given real essence of Islam. He has said Islam is not to sit and worship in a corner and take the beads in the hand. The biggest worship is to help people.
The shrine of Nuruddin is located at Charare Sharif, barely 40 kilometers away from Srinagar. Affectionately known as Nund Rishi, this 14th century saint drew deeply upon the local Shaivite mystic philosophy of the Hindu rishis and melded it with the more austere theology of Islamic mysticism. The result of Nund Rishi's efforts was the formation of a silsila called the Sufi Rishi order. This is the bedrock of Kashmiri identity. It's little wonder that he is called the Alamdar or flag bearer of Kashmiriyat and is considered Kashmir's patron saint. Before his death in the middle of the 15th century, Nund Rishi spent years travelling from village to village in Kashmir, spreading his teachings through devotional poetry, stories and parables. The legacy he left behind was one of humanism, simplicity and unity between religious communities.
कोई ऐसी जगह है तो जहाँ वहाँ सिर्फ मुस्लिम जाएंगे, हिंदू नहीं जाएंगे। यहाँ पे आप देखोगे कि यहाँ पे जो भी दरगाह है ना, तो आप हिंदू भी जाएंगे तो मुस्लिम भी जाएंगे, सिख भी जाएंगे, मतलब हर एक मज़हब का।
बाबा यहीं के हैं, हमारे कश्मीर के हैं। बाबा ने यहाँ कश्मीर में इनकी बहुत अहमियत है। इन्होंने इस्लाम का प्रचार के साथ साथ इंसानियत का प्रचार किया है। सारे कश्मीर में घूमे हैं।
कश्मीर को बोलती है पीरवार या ऋषिवारी, तो बहुत मन करता है ऐसी जगह।
The original wooden shrine at Charare Sharif was burned down during a confrontation with militants in 1995. But a new structure has risen to take its place, highlighting the resilience of the common people's faith in the saint of the valley. Nund Rishi's nomadic social activism did not arise out of thin air. He had a predecessor, somebody that he considered his spiritual mother, Lal Ded. Lal Ded's tale is one of the most intriguing stories from the region. Born into a Brahmin family in 1320 and named Laleshwari, she left behind an unhappy marriage to embrace a path of sannyas or renunciation. A woman of strong will, Lal Ded cared nothing for social convention and would not even wear clothes during her wanderings. She was unconcerned with superficial differences, saying, "Shiva pervades every place and thing. Do not differentiate between Hindu and Musalman. If you're intelligent, recognize your own self. That is the true acquaintance with God." These sayings or vakyas of Lal Ded were her major contribution to Kashmir. More than 200 such sayings survive, passed down from generation to generation. These laid the foundations on which Nund Rishi, travelling through the valley, built the Sufi Rishi order. Although Lal Ded was the most important influence on Nund Rishi, Hazrat Mir Hussain Hamdani was the other great figure in his life. It is said that even Lal Ded was impressed by Hamdani. After she met him, she exclaimed, "I have seen a man, and now I will clothe myself." Hazrat Hamdani was from an orthodox Persian Sufi tradition. Even now, women are not allowed to pray within the Khanqah-e-Molla, his shrine in Srinagar. With Shah Hamdan came hundreds of his followers. Many of these were trained artisans. Their skills are preserved in the intricate wood and metalwork found in his shrine. The crafts that his followers introduced to Kashmir have sustained countless livelihoods, much as the Sufi tradition has sustained countless spirits through the centuries. This unique spiritual tradition of poetry, social reform, and deep humanity lies at the heart of what the Kashmiri people are today. It is what allows them to find a peace within themselves beyond the conflict that has often marred their lives. This is what makes Charari Sharif so special. Every year, thousands of people from across the region come to pay their respects and sustain a living link to Sheikh Nuruddin Nurani and his teachings.
कम से कम एक बार आते हैं, हाज़िरी तो देते हैं। ये जो अपना पुराना रूटीन है अपने दादे परदादे का, वो तो पालना पड़ता है। एक बार तो आना पड़ता है साल में। कभी ऐसा भी है 2, 3 बार, 4 बार भी आ जाते हैं, लेकिन एक बार तो पॉजिटिवली यहाँ हाज़िरी देनी है बाबा की।
কানাইৰ কমল মুখ পেশিতে নয়ন সুখ কোটিন্দু যিনি পৰ কাষে কানাইৰ কমল মুখ।
Far away from Kashmir, hidden away among the green rolling hills of Assam, there lives another syncretic tradition. In vast, beautifully designed temples, songs rise to celebrate Krishna, avatar of the mighty Vishnu. These architectural masterpieces are the legacy of the Ahom kings. Originally of Thai Shan origin, this dynasty arrived in India from Southeast Asia in the 13th century and ruled in splendor for 600 years. Although Buddhist in origin, during their long reign they embraced Hinduism and celebrated it in song and stone. Famous for their religious tolerance, they welcomed saints and religious scholars from all corners of the known world. One day, in the first half of the 17th century, a learned Islamic scholar named Shah Miran arrived at the Ahom court. He travelled all the way from Baghdad, stopping only at Ajmer and other shrines of famous Sufi saints in North India. Soon after his arrival, Shah Miran learnt Assamese and began to travel from village to village along the mighty Brahmaputra river. There were already Muslims living in the area. Islam had arrived through the influence of travelling saints, but its rituals were mixed with the vibrant Assamese tribal traditions. At villages where Shah Miran stopped, he would say the azan, the Muslim call to prayer. In turn, the villagers gave him the name by which he is known, Azan Fakir. But today, what he is best remembered for is the legacy of devotional music that he has left behind.
The music of Assam. Azan Fakir, he took the music of the land and the vocabulary of Islam, and that is the synthesis.
और हमारा जो लोग सब ये गाता है ना, सब जिक्र नहीं गाता है। जिस जिक्र का सूफी जी में है, हकीकत है, सूफी सेंस है, वही जिक्र गाता है और बहुत अदब से गाता है। ऐसे भी हो जाता है जब जिक्र गाता है ना, उन लोग रोता है। हम किसी को लिख के और टैप करने को नहीं देता है। कोई सीखने को इच्छा होगा तब तो ये बैठ के गाने गाकर सीखना होगा। पीरे खुनकर आलमे तुम्हार साहेब मुरीदे तुम्हार दिन देखो खुनकर पीरे।
Azan Fakir added to the local musical tradition by composing and singing devotional songs or jikr in the Assamese language. He then set these to the music in the regional style. This tradition is kept alive among the families who are descended from the Azan Fakir's followers. They gather together to sing and to teach new generations his jikirs, keeping his music and his message alive. Azan Fakir eventually ended his days in a small village called Chunpura. His dargah sits serenely in a grove of trees located on the banks of the Brahmaputra river, 20 kilometers outside Shivsagar. He rests among the villagers who still sing his songs while their children shriek and play. One reason why Azan Fakir's songs melded so effortlessly into local customs was because of the already existing tradition of Assamese Borgeet Bhakti music. Borgeet was created by Mahapurush Srimant Shankar Dev, the famed Vaishnavite social reformer. His songs, emphasizing the unity and name of Vishnu, welded together the diverse peoples of Assam.
The traditional systems like Borgeet, the music of the Hotros, the great Hotro tradition, the Vaishnavite tradition where we have the Borgeets and the Onkyonats, the Bhavanas and all that huge tradition we have. Then of course there is this, the folk, the layer, the base layer of the folk music, that is music that people perform or sing or do their on the instruments while they are actually working at something else. He kanai par kora he belir poril saya নষ্ট হইল দুধের ভাণ্ডার বাজার ভইল পয়া পার করা হে বেলির পরিল ছায়া নষ্ট হইল দুধের ভাণ্ডার বাজার ভইল পয়া
Azan Fakir's Jikir and Shankar Dev's Borgeet have flowed next to one another for centuries in Assam. Both are distinct traditions, but because of their root in music and their message of peace and harmony, they reinforce one another and have been absorbed completely by the people of the Brahmaputra Valley.
अच्छा नाम जो होता है ना हमारा मुसलमान लोग लेता है ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह नाम वो सेंस से लेता है और जो हिंदू लोग जो गाता है ना वो एक देव एक है एक बिना नाई के उस लाइन में वो लोग लेता है बस मिल जाता है सब ओ नबी आफ्ताब नबी माफ्ताब नबी मक्कार फूल आमी सुनिया बियाकू आखिरी জামানার নবী মোহাম্মদ রাসূল নবী আফতাব নবী মাফতাব নবী মক্কার ফুল আমি শুনিয়া বিয়াকুল আখেরি জামানার নবী মোহাম্মদ রাসূল এই আখেরি জামানাতে ছিলেন পাক বাড়ি মোহাম্মদ মুস্তাফা নবী উম্মতের কান্ডারি আমি শুনিয়া বিয়াকুল আখেরি জামানার নবী মোহাম্মদ রাসূল নবী আফতাব নবী মাফতাব নবী মক্কার ফুল আমি শুনিয়া বিয়াকুল আখেরি জামানার নবী মোহাম্মদ রাসূল
Although it permeates cultures from Kashmir to Assam to small villages in India's heartland, Sufism often seems to be hidden away. Kaliar, a small town less than 200 kilometers from Delhi, is a perfect example. A sleepy hamlet for most of the year. With its pony traps and colonial era canals, it seems to be nothing special except on Urs or death anniversary of Sheikh Alauddin Ali Ahmad. During the Urs, this village is transformed into a giant carnival. Over 1 million pilgrims throng to Kaliar, arriving by bus, car and bullock cart. The name of the saint is deeply linked to the idea of sustenance, feeding both body and soul. Born in 1196, he was a follower of his uncle, the Punjabi poet saint Baba Farid. Made in charge of Farid's langar or community kitchen, Alauddin fed only others and survived on wild plants and the fruits of the gular tree. When Baba Farid learnt this, he exclaimed, "He shall be known as Sabir, the patient one." And so he remains today, Sabir Pak, the patient saint of the humble masses.
कभी आ जाते थे रमज़ान में, कभी रोज़ों में। इसी तरह सरकार हमको बुलाते रहे, गरीब नवाज का दामन पकड़े हैं, उनके गुलामों के गुलाम हैं। अब हमें पता नहीं कि कई बार आए कई बार गए। जो साल में ख्वाजा साहब के दरबार में पहुँचे 4 मरतबा 5 मरतबा, तो उसकी क्या गिनती हम गिन सकते हैं, हमें होश ही नहीं।
The inclusive quality of the Sabriya Chishtiya order that Sabir founded means that the shrine welcomes people from all walks of life. The rush of pilgrims is a picture of different, vibrant colors. As the big day approaches, people throng the shrine, trying to get close to the grave of the saint. The crowds grow immense, some rushing into any opening, others milling around or sitting under the shade of the tarpaulins. Some individuals whip themselves into a frenzy of emotion, while others play devotional music. Quietly, on the side, others practice their faith by tying their prayers to the branches of trees near the shrine, hoping that the saint will hear their silent prayers. Because of his association with Baba Farid, whose verses have been incorporated into the Guru Granth Sahib, the Sikh holy book, Sabir is honoured by the Sikhs as well.
ਤੇ ਅੱਜ ਮੈਂ ਤਕਰੀਬਨ 8 ਸਾਲ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਦੇ ਕਰੀਬ 8 ਸਾਲ ਦੇ ਕਰੀਬ ਗੱਦੀ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੇ ਪਾਕ ਗਰੀਬ ਨਵਾਜ਼ ਦੀ ਤੇ ਸੰਗਤ ਬਹੁਤ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਹੈ ਇੱਥੇ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਦੇ ਜਮਾਲ ਦੀ ਖਾਤਰ ਵੀ ਮੈਂ ਤਕਰੀਬਨ 200 ਦੇ ਕਰੀਬ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਖਸਤਾ ਹਾਲਤ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਲੋਕ ਸੀ ਪਰੇਸ਼ਾਨ ਲੜਕੇ ਬੇਟੇ ਲੜਕੀਆਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮੈਂ ਲਿਆ ਕੇ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਦੀ ਚੌਕਟ ਤੇ ਸਜਦਾ ਕਰਾਇਆ ਤੇ ਅੱਜ ਉਹ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਦਾ ਫੈਜ਼ ਆਮ ਜਸ ਗਾ ਰਹੇ ਆ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੇ ਪਾਕ ਦੇ ਦਰਬਾਰ ਤੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਰਾਹਤ ਮਿਲੀ ਹੈ ਹਰ ਸਾਲ ਤਕਰੀਬਨ 8 ਸਾਲ ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਦਾ ਮੈਂ ਗੱਦੀ ਕਰਦਾ ਮੈਂ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ ਵੀ ਇਸੇ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਮੇਰੇ ਤੇ ਕਰਮ ਨਵਾਜੀ ਰੱਖਣ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਗੁਨਾਹਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਖਤਾ ਤੋਂ ਮਾਫ ਕਰਦੇ ਰਹਿਣ ਬਖਸ਼ਦੇ ਰਹਿਣ ਮੈਂ ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਦੀਵਾਨਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੀਵਾਨੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਸਾਥ ਚੱਲ ਕੇ ਆਏ ਆ ਫੈਜ਼ ਪਾਉਣ ਆਏ ਆ ਇਸੇ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਹੀ ਫੈਜ਼ ਆਮ ਫੈਜ਼ ਦਾ ਦਰਿਆ ਵਗਦਾ ਰਹੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਸ ਦਰਿਆ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ
After their long and tiring journey, the Sikh Jatta pays their respects at the shrine and then completes their pilgrimage by stepping outside and listening to a special performance of qawwalis. At the neighbouring shrine of Imam Sahib, one of Sabir's companions, the followers, travelling faqirs, offer their cures and blessings. They transform the landscape with a colourful attire, wearing the deep green of Islam and the saffron of Hinduism. Haridwar and Rishikesh, two of the holiest Hindu cities, lie only a few dozen kilometers away. Over centuries, the geographical closeness has led to a respectful bond, one that stresses the importance of the individual traditions while acknowledging the importance of others.
बाबा जी के हाथ से बैद भी हैं, यानी कि चेले भी हैं, हिंदू भी हैं, मुसलमान भी हैं और सरदार पंजाबी भी हैं। मुझे मालूम चला सरकार की मुज़बानी हज़रत ख्वाजा उस्मान हरूनी का मदार पाक है जो ख्वाजा गरीब नवाज रहमतुल्लाह अलैह साहब के पीर मुर्शिद है। तो उनके बारे में बताया मेरे पीर मुर्शिद ने कि बेटा उन्होंने 12 साल मंदिर का घंटा ही बजाया है, इसलिए मैं कालका मंदिर में गया और जिस वक्त मैंने घंटी पे हाथ मारा या ख्वाजा उस्मान हरूनी करके यहाँ से और बैठने के बाद मैंने एक माला खींची। हाँ, सामने मेरे श्री राम जी थे, हनुमान जी थे, पार्वती जी थी और इल्लल्लाह सीता मैया थी। मैं दूरद पाक पढ़ता रहा लेकिन मेरा तसव्वुर जो था वो हुजूर सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम के गुंबद खजरा पे रहा। आँखों के सामने पीर का तसव्वुर और उसके बाद में गुंबद खजरा का तसव्वुर में मैं दूरद पाक पढ़ता रहा। वहाँ से अब मैं जब चलने को हुआ तो पंडित जी ने जो गुरु जी थे उन्होंने मुझे बुला के मुस्करा के हाथ मिलाया और इतना बड़ा मुझे मिठाई का डिब्बा पेश किया कि ये प्रसाद है, बाबा जी हमारी तरफ से बच्चों को दे देना। मैं चला आया।
The first great gathering is at the ghusl, the ritual bathing of the tomb where the saint lies. The caretaker of the shrine, called the Sajjada Nashin, has not eaten for many days leading up to the ghusl, exemplifying key principles of the Sabriya Chishti order, praying and fasting. In his person, the Sajjada Nashin embodies the fragile link to his Sufi master. By touching him, the pilgrims feel they have come closer to their beloved saint, and he tries to please as many as possible, extending his blessings to those who come in public and private. As he makes his way to the tomb, thousands surround him, hoping to catch a touch or even a glimpse. He must be guarded from their overwhelming love. As he performs the ritual of ghusl, Inside the sacred inner chamber, the pilgrims echo his movements. Some pray, others weep, plastered against the stone walls. With an invocation to God, the ritual is complete. The sacred water sends the pilgrims into an ecstasy of love. Some writhe in it, making it a part of their very being. All celebrate through singing and dancing. By merging with the water washed off their saint's grave, they feel they have imbibed a part of his holiness.
माटी के तुम दीवरे सुनो हमारी बात आज मिलावरा पिया का तुम जगियो सारी रात.
The climax of the Urs celebration is approaching and the anticipation mounts among the devotees. The atmosphere around the shrine is that of a grand wedding, with people dressed in fresh clothes, mingling, talking and eating. They are gearing up for the night of Rang, of colour and celebration, where qawwalis and other devotional songs of praise are sung about the saint and his life. This is the night they will celebrate the meeting of the saint with God, which in Sufi poetry is often likened to a wedding where the saint Sabir is finally joined as one with the beloved God. The tempo of the music rises as the night progresses. The devotees rise to dance, swaying as one in their ecstasy.
Fari